Welcome back to Check the Pulse. Today, as usual, I'm grateful and honored to have Mr. Tevaun Smith on the podcast. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
I'm happy you're here. Thank you for joining me. This will be a sick conversation just because we get to dive into athletics. Finally, you guys know that's my thing. But once again, like, subscribe, share, show your love, leave a comment. Show your girl some love, man. Like, we're trying out here. We're trying out here. We're trying to have some good conversations, good guests for you guys. But jokes aside, for those of you that watch the full episodes and have been there for me since day one, I appreciate you. Keep spreading the word. And now let's dive into the pod. So, Tevaun, for those that don't know you, do you want to introduce yourself a little bit? Give a bit about your story, your journey, where you're at now, and then we'll dive into the conversation.
Yeah. So my name is Tevaun Smith. I grew up in the Toronto area, Western Road to be exact, and I started playing football at a young age. I played basketball, played football, ran track, but I fell in love with football. And, I was grateful enough to get a scholarship at the University of Iowa, played there for 4 years. And then I've had an 8-year pro career, 3 years in the NFL, and 5 years in the CFL. So it's been a journey. And now I work in finance, and I have a couple other businesses myself, a couple projects on the way. But, just working on that transition and navigating business outside of football.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like, especially because you had such a drastic career, like making it pro.
Mm-hmm.
So let's dive into that a little bit. So you obviously, you played in high school, you got scouted, you played in the U.S., which from my understanding is the place to be, obviously, when it comes to football, wanting to go to the NFL.
Yeah.
So what was that experience like playing there, at the college level?
So I was grateful enough to go to an all boys school, and it was very strict.
Yeah.
So, in terms of being there on time in the football program, you have to make sure your grades are good. You got to make sure you're not skipping class. So although I kind of found my way out of certain,
for
but
sure.
I was prepped, for that. Right. So I went to a prep school after I went to my school at Chaminade.
Yeah.
And when I went to that prep school in Connecticut, it was the middle of nowhere.
Wow.
And it was just a school, and that was it. You didn't really leave campus. And I would say I always say I was out of place. I was just an athlete playing football, and it was a prep school, rich preppy school that I just came from living on Jane and Weston Road, and now I'm going to a school that's all rich and preppy. Liam Neeson's son went to my school. Wow. But yeah, so I went there, and then when I went to Iowa, from the day I walked in that door, I already knew it was business. I already knew that they were strict. I already knew that, okay, this is a place where I'm either gonna get better and invest into myself, or I'm gonna walk out of here and be afraid of what's coming.
For sure.
So that was a great experience for one, but two, it also prepped me for the next level as well. So that experience playing Division I football has been it was a great experience playing in front of 80,000 fans.
Oh, that's crazy.
I mean, all they know is Iowa football. Right. So it was a great experience to be out there.
Damn, I literally just got chills because I think that's so cool. Because they say college ball in the States, whether it's basketball or football, it's almost as big as people going for NFL teams and watching games because they're diehard for their city, right?
For sure.
So I think it's a cool experience too because you get to kind of feel that knowing your end goal is the NFL. So now you're there, you had this great experience, and now you're like, okay, I got to make it. So what's that mindset like where you're like, okay, I have to switch on? Do you look at who's already made it? Did you have a comparison game in your head? This guy got drafted, he has this, I need to do this. How did that work?
Yeah, so, when I, growing up out of here, obviously I wanted to go pro, but I was thinking, I just want to get a D1 scholarship. I want to go to, I want to, play for a big school. Right. That was what I was thinking. Yeah. And then until I got there, and then you're like, okay, I'm here now. What's next?
Yeah.
Right. So at that point, that's when I started gauging the room. All right, who's here? Mm-hmm. Okay, who can I gravitate towards to get better? And once I got there, I was able to kind of, okay, as long as I work hard and I put myself in good situations, meaning I'm going to class. I'm not the kid that they talk about every week. Okay, he's bad in his grit with his grades. you know, as long as I stay under the radar and work my ass off, you know, on the field, like, you know, sky's possibly the limit for me because I want to just do everything right in order to get to that next stage. And I feel like, you know, Iowa had prepped me for that. But, you know, during that process, as I started getting better, I started realizing, okay, like I'm a starter now, you know, like, you know, when I was getting into my sophomore year, I started starting a couple games. And then, like, you know, going into my junior year, I was like, okay, I need to make a decision. Like, I want to go to the next level, and you know, I need to go even harder. Yeah. So that process was amazing. I mean, I had coaches that were there to push me and get me better, and I just embraced it. I embraced the yelling. I embraced all the stuff that they had us do, and just chose to make that decision to, like, you know, like, hey, if this is what I want, this is what comes with it.
Right. Well, I think like a big thing with that too is, actually I have a first question before I get to that. Did you feel you were at a bit of a disadvantage because you're Canadian and like you weren't from the States? Or is that like a stereotype?
I've heard that story before. I've heard people say like, you know, because I'm Canadian, like, but to be honest, like, not for me, I didn't feel that way. Yeah. Maybe because I went to a prep school first, and like some people actually didn't even know I was Canadian.
All right.
Like even to this day, like, you know, with teammates are like, I didn't even know you're from Canada. Right? So, I mean, I didn't necessarily feel like, oh, they're doing this because I'm Canadian. Right. I feel like, you know, for myself, maybe I just fit in, you know, or I just try my best to fit in. Right. You know, I try to just adjust to my environment and kind of blend in, like I said before, and that, you know, definitely helped. But of course, you know, I would say I was good enough to kind of blend in with the group and not be, okay, he's just a Canadian guy, that's why he's doing this, you know? Yeah,
which makes sense. And I feel like a lot of that came down to also your skill. Doesn't matter where you're from. If you got skill, they're gonna pick you, right?
Exactly.
Your discipline, which you learned from high school, like at an earlier age. And
I
think
lucky.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I went to places where I'm like, man, if I, like, who knows where I would have been if I didn't go to these strict, like, every school was like strict.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, now I went to Iowa, and I'm like, well, shit, I've been doing this for a while now.
For sure.
You know?
Well, it's already embedded in you at that point. Whereas
exactly.
like people coming from schools that may not have been as strict could be a rude awakening or a shock, right? What do you mean I can't do what I want? I can't skip a class. Like, so for you were kind of almost like ahead of the game at that point. Yeah. Okay, then NFL, that's big. That was a good run. Did you have fun?
Yes,
How was that?
Oh, man, it was great. I mean, for myself, I was an undrafted free agent. Yeah. I played for the Indianapolis Colts. Nice. And, you know, it was I wouldn't say a weird process, but I kind of knew, I had a feeling that's where I was going before the draft even happened.
Yeah.
Because I just remember them telling me like, hey, you know, if you don't get drafted, we're gonna take you. Yeah. And I never got drafted, but during that day, like there was teams that saying we're gonna draft you. Gotcha. But obviously, you know, everything behind closed doors, we don't know. You know, there's all situational. It's all, you know, whatever. But you know, that experience, you know, being able to be called by an NFL team, and you know, the same team that signed me was at the same stadium where we played at the Big Ten championship lost to Michigan State. So it's kind of like, it was like, damn, I get to go back to the same. That was like pretty much my last game of my season. Yeah. But then being my first NFL game in the same stadium,
I just got the chills again.
That I scored that I scored a big touchdown in as well. So like, it's kind of crazy, you know, with that. But man, my experience has been great. You know, playing pro altogether, but the NFL has been, you know, has opened a lot of doors for me. I met so many great guys along the way. Still friends with a lot of them now. Yeah. And it's just been a super like cool experience. Like, I mean, you can't ask for anything better. You know, you have dreams of playing professionally, and then you end up doing it. Yeah. And it's just like, damn, like it's pretty dope when you think back at it. I look back at my career, and I'm just like, man, like it's been, you know, you don't really see what you have done until like you just, you know, zoom out of your life, and you're just like, damn, like, okay, I've done a lot. I should be proud of myself. For sure. And I'm always just like, no, what's next? Right?
But that's also, I feel like, the athlete in you, because it's like, you always want to be better, right? Yeah, and like you're trained like that from a young age. So it's like, you're never going to be complacent or settle for what's like good. Some people will be like, you played pro, you made it. And it's like, okay, yeah, no, that's one accomplishment, right? Yeah. But you have to think of it too, like your younger self would be like staring up at you like in awe. Right?
Exactly.
And like that moment you have, you're like, damn, people, there's people that dream of it. They don't even make it there.
Yep.
But huge congratulations to you. That's massive.
Thank you.
So then from NFL, you went CFL, which is Canadian Football League.
Yes.
So what was that transition and why did you make that transition?
So I got hurt in 2018. When I was with the Jacksonville Jaguars, I tore my meniscus for the second time, and the rehab just wasn't, like the first time.
Right.
Like I did it in college. I missed like a week and a half.
Yeah.
I was back playing like nothing ever happened.
Right.
So when it happened the second time, I was like, I know the process.
Yeah.
I've done it before. But then I had some mishaps with the training and the doctor, and my rehab was just taking too long. And that process was, pretty stressful at that time.
Sure.
I was actually like not in the best place mentally, just because I'm like, man, I don't know if my knee's gonna get better.
Yeah.
Right. And then, during that year off, I was like, you know what? Like, I was drafted first round to the Edmonton Eskimos at the time. So I knew that, like, okay, this team has my rights.
Right.
If I decide to go now, that's the team I'm going to go to. So I looked at the situation with them, and I was like, I think this is the time to just go. I don't want to be a guy that is going to just keep trying with the NFL, and now I'm 2-3 years out just trying to make a team in the NFL when I can just come home and play and, play professionally back home, and my family can see me play. So I just, when I sat that year off, I was like, hey, I'm just going to do it. I don't know. I feel like there's been times that, like, whenever I make decisions, I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Yeah. So in 2018, I was like, yeah, I'm done. Let's go to CFL and let's continue playing football. I took 1 year off to get healthy. Now let's run it. So that experience was a great experience as well. Like, again, you meet so many guys along the way. And like I said, I was a high draft pick for them. So I was able to, like, get out there, start, play well, and just have a great career as well over there.
Yeah. So I feel like you make a lot of decisions. Like, it's like your intuition or your gut has you. Like, you think about it a bit, and then right away, like, you know what to do, and you make that decision without, like, your ego getting in the way. Because in that position you were in, it would have been easy for a lot of people to be like, well, how's that going to look? I'm going from the NFL to the CFL. And then all of a sudden their ego gets in the way. Now they're stuck in this loop trying to make an NFL team because of their injury. And they actually could, like, be in more of a struggle than if they just dropped the ego, took that advantage, and then played freely and still enjoyed the game, So, like, good on you for being able to do that, because, like, you say it confidently because you did it, but a lot of people would have struggled in that position, right?
Yeah, and I did the same thing when it came to, like, retiring from football.
For sure.
Like, I took the year off. If I don't like my situations, all right, let's move on. Yeah. I don't want to be trying to hang on to something that, I want to leave on my terms. Right. I don't want to be forced out. So I'm like, hey, this is probably the best time. Let's do it right now. I'm trying to really be strategic with everything that I do, and I have done that. From the day I stepped in, I transferred from Central Tech to Chaminade. Yeah. And then the same thing, every part of my life, I just thought about it. Is that going to be the best decision for me? All right, let's not think about it too much. Let's move. Yeah. And let's go.
So that mindset, because you have a really good mindset when it comes to that. Is that something you just kind of built from, like, let's say your high schools, your teachers, or your family, or, like, you built it yourself? How did you get yourself into that, really, like, that way of thinking?
I guess I was kind of forced to be like that, because, when I went to Central Tech, I knew I wasn't in the best situation over there. Like, I was getting in trouble. Like, I'm like, man, I want to play football.
That's it.
I'm like, let's go. Yeah. And then when the first day I walked into Chaminade, it was like, take your hat off. What are you doing? Go to class. So it was just like, damn. Like, I was just like, shit. Like, I gotta tighten up over here, right? And then going to college, same thing. It was like, yo, this is how it is. This is the system, and just abide by the system and continue to just get better. So now, like, when I got to the next level and started to mature even more, I was like, man, like, get in the room, work hard, do what you have to do, and move on. Yeah. Like, so I would say, like, I was forced to think like that, and I guess it came from, I guess, myself. You know, I was used to kind of just sticking and moving whenever the time was right for me.
For sure. Well, that's massive now, because now you're carrying that into your current ventures. So you make the decision, you retire from football, so you leave the CFL. So now I feel like this is a topic that a lot of athletes that kind of retired from a sport, doesn't matter what level, but something that they've kind of tied themselves to their whole lives. Like now they have to re-identify themselves. You know, what was that process like for you when you stopped and you're like, okay, like what am I going to do with my life now, right? Like you have to kind of almost refine your purpose.
So in 2018, when I got hurt in Jacksonville, that's when I thought about it.
Got you. Okay, so it was before.
It was before.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, if this football thing doesn't work out, what am I going to do?
Right.
So now I took out a piece of paper and I wrote down like 3 things that I want to get into.
Yeah.
One was I wanted to start learning about real estate.
Yep.
2 was I wanted to open up some recovery center.
Like physio?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was very in tune with my body. I loved to work out. And I always got treatment. I was always in the training room getting rubbed down, working on my knees, my ankles, whatever. And then the third thing was a moving company.
Oh, sick.
Right. So that's when I thought about it. And I was grateful enough to have like friends that were kind of, in like that entrepreneur mindset.
Right.
My roommate did some things in college, and he went straight into corporate out of college. So I was kind of like learning, as he was transitioning at an early age, and like my mindset kind of was just like, okay, I need to start thinking about things.
For sure.
Fast forward to the time where, I think it was actually after COVID, 2021, that's when I bought a couple trucks.
Oh, sick.
So like I didn't even think about it. I'm like, damn, I wrote that down.
Yeah.
Like
It's like you manifested it.
3-4 years ago,
Yeah.
right? So that happened. So like that's when my mind started like really going in 2018 about like the investing and getting into entrepreneurship. And I started reading, and I was like, I need to start reading more. I need to start learning more. And then fast forward to that, my roommate started flipping homes, and we were just doing that in Houston together.
Damn.
With a group of friends. So we started doing that, and then I had the trucking business, and then like, so the transition wasn't terrible for me because I already thought about it before. Because like I knew that, okay, this isn't gonna last forever. Where do I see myself in 5 or 6 years?
For sure.
Like, yes, I want to play 10 years, but even after that, what do I want to do? So during that time, I just took that time to really just like look myself in the mirror. And the transition, don't get me wrong, still weird. Not going to practice, not having a full schedule from 7 a.m. to 2, 3, 4 o'clock during the day. But now I just try and fill in those gaps. Okay, I'm still gonna work out. I'm still gonna do this. I'm still gonna create that, and still kind of sometimes just like, damn, what am I gonna do? Like I got 3 hours today, and like usually I'd be at practice. Shoot, let's listen to a podcast. Let's I can't just sit down and stare at the walls.
Oh, for sure.
Or even I want to I need to watch a show or something. I can't just I'm just so used to moving around, traveling. Obviously, you play games every week. Your guys are in Edmonton or whenever in the NFL. You find all these other cities that you play in. Same thing. You find all these cities. You're packing up your little suitcase and you're gone for 2 days. It's not like that anymore.
Now you're just like,
it's just like, so it's like,
yeah, that's hard. That's hard.
It's tough.
For sure.
Because you're just like, shit, like what the hell am I going to do now?
Yeah. You're like retraining your body.
Yeah.
So even though you didn't have the leg time in the sense of like, okay, now trying to really figure out what you do because you kind of already started that, but your body is still like, okay, you get up, you have practice, you have meal, you have class, you have whatever. And then it's like, oh, travel day. Oh, like,
yeah.
I think people that are like not in sports almost don't get how structured you are in sports.
Super
like
structured.
You literally, and at maybe not like when you're playing like recreationally, but if you even like I played in university and even just that, and that's not even close to what you did. It's just like it was structured like between classes, lifts, travel, game days, going to other like schools. You stop and you're like, I remember like when I stopped, my night times, I had no idea what to do with myself. Like I would like call my like friends and be like what do I do? Like do we hang out? Do we go get a coffee? Like it's weird because I'm usually like I'd be at practice or I'd have a game. Right.
So even like in the off seasons, I would train with one of my best friends. We were training in Miami. We're doing whatever. And then it's just during the day. Yeah. And then he's playing video games during the day. We're going out to lunch. But then like now, like, you know, we're both retired now, but like I'm reaching out to other friends.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do I not have any friends?
Yeah, you think about it because you're
I'm
like, you had your teammates.
But I'm like, damn, they're all working.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'm not playing anymore. So now I'm like, well, I need to find something to do because everybody has like real life shit that they have to deal with.
Yeah.
Now they're having kids. Now they're, you know, they're married. I'm like, well, damn, I got nothing to do. Like literally, I don't have any kids.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go to the gym.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna do this. So
Yeah.
it is different, but now I've created a good schedule for myself.
Sure.
Sometimes there's still gaps, but in between those gaps, I'm like kind of going crazy. But it is what it is.
Figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
You go with it. You go with the
Yeah,
flow.
We're still learning. We're still
Yeah,
learning.
yeah.
So it's been two years now.
Okay, yeah, because I was gonna ask you. Okay,
Yeah,
not bad.
this is my second year out of football now.
Do you ever play recreationally?
No.
You're like,
I've been asked if I want to do like I'll hop into some like maybe like a charity flag football
okay, yeah,
game.
for sure.
I don't have any plans on hopping into a touch football league.
Fair.
I've been asked a couple times. I'm
Yeah.
like, nah.
Do you feel like, and I feel like sometimes when athletes say this, people take it as a cocky way, and it's not a cocky thing, but like, do you feel like because of your skill level, like even going into a league like that, like to a certain extent, it's just like kind of cheeses you or like it's boring? Because it's like, and I say this even with soccer, it's like, I knew if I were to go back, because I stopped playing for a good chunk of years after university.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, come play women's league. I'm like, I can't. Like, I just can't. I can't go play with people that like can't kick a ball or like can't pass. But I'm also like, I don't want to go play super competitive again. My body can't handle it.
Yeah,
so it's like, where's the
exactly.
middle ground? You know, everyone's like, oh, just show up. I'm like, no, you don't get it. Like, because I can still play. So like, I don't want to come play and like, or in your case, try to teach you how to catch a ball or make the right pass or throw it in my hands. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you feel that same way or no?
Well, it depends on the league because
Fair,
I know
yeah.
I know some guys that I've played with in high school that are
Yeah.
in leagues and they're decent at football.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I do think like if I go, I'm probably gonna take it too serious.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
like I don't know if they'll be ready for that unless you know, unless it's
Yeah.
somebody that used to play as well.
Right, for sure.
professionally. But yeah, like I was, you know, I've been asked a couple times, like, yeah, I'm just gonna throw you the ball all the time. I'm just like, nah, don't do that. Like, I don't want to. Like, I actually just want to have fun, and
Yeah.
I don't want to be super competitive. Like, give me the ball.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to. But I mean, we'll see.
right.
I might hop into a couple just to have fun. But I do feel like sometimes I'm just like, yeah, even some guys are just like, yo, I'm fast. I'm like,
Bro.
you're not fast. Like,
Yeah.
I can literally like.
With one
I can
leg.
race you right now,
Yeah.
and I'll kill you.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like, but everybody just thinks they're not. Like, most people are athletes. Don't get me wrong,
Fair.
but like they always try
There's
and
levels
poke,
of
poke the
athletes.
bear. There's
sure,
levels of
for sure.
athletes for
Yeah,
sure. So
yeah.
I'm not gonna go to, you know, the best receiver in the league,
Yeah.
or the best track runner and say, yo, let's race. Like, you know, I know where I stand.
Yeah, yeah,
I
for
know
sure.
I'm fast. I know I'm good, but
Yeah.
I'm not about to go on the court with LeBron James.
No, for sure. Because you know.
But
where
people
you're
think
at.
that they can do that though.
100%. I'll take LeBron any day.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I'll pay you for that, you know?
Exactly.
So wait, what position did you play?
Wide receiver.
Oh, okay. So that's why you say scored a touchdown.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
yeah,
All right.
Yeah.
So that's sick. So, okay, now, like, what are you doing now? Like, what's your focus?
So
Work-wise.
I have a couple trucks that run throughout the city.
Yep.
And then I also told you I have a couple projects on the way with some friends on the investment side.
Yep.
But now, like, primarily is I'm in finance. So
Sick.
I work as a independent broker. So I help people not only with insurance, but their investments as well and how to protect it.
Yeah.
So like I said before, I got really into the investment side and been doing some projects with friends on both sides of the border. And I want to help not only athletes with their finances, because once football is done, that's the most amount of money you're ever realistically, for most of us, you're not going to make that much money in your life ever again.
No, it's true. For
Right?
Sure.
So, you know, for me, I want to be a resource to those players that, you know, want to put their money in the right places, whether it's life insurance, whether it's just regular investments. Because there's a lot of things that I wish I could have done,
For sure.
you know, when I was playing with my money.
Yeah.
So I want to be that resource to them. So that's what I do now, and not just athletes, but anybody in general, that whether they're saving for a home or they're saving for a new car, but I'm helping them create plans financially and, you know, helping them with their lifelong goals.
Yeah, which is amazing because I think that's so important. Like, especially even just on the athletic side, like anyone that plays at a pro level, you are making a great deal of cash.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
feel like, not that I've been there, but I feel like it's easy to blow. Like, have you seen people just like blow through the money they make? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
100%.
I mean, 100%. Like there's, you know, you want a nice car. You want,
True.
you know, I mean, and I get it. You
Yeah.
know, like, I like my car.
Yeah.
I bought a nice car. But at the time when I did have my first car, I just bought a Chrysler 300.
Yeah.
And like I made it look good.
Yeah.
But you know, I bought a Chrysler 300. I didn't. I paid it off like fairly quickly, like in like a month.
Oh, wow.
Obviously you get lump sums of cash.
For sure.
So I'm like, well, let me
It's
just
easy, yeah.
pay it off and easy. But, you know, at the same time, like I knew, you know, I didn't want to get a luxury car because like, I'm like, well, you know, you have to pay for the maintenance on that. So like I'm also undrafted. So I had to be smart. You know, I didn't want to make a dumb decision and get like a BMW or something crazy. And, you know, now I have all these issues that I can't afford. So, I mean, for me, like that was just super important. Just, okay, how much can I save?
Yeah.
I
sure.
mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I definitely went out and spent some money, but you know, I also knew that like, okay, let me actually put some aside. Like, I do want to go on vacation. I do want to do this. I do want to do that. So it's definitely a space to where it's like, you know, you have to look at that. And there's guys that actually have spent a lot of money. Yeah. And you know, I think about those stories. You know, whether they have gambling problems or they buy a nice car and it's like, damn, his car payments are way too much now. Well, shoot, you thought that some guy just want to wait on that next check. Oh, I'm gonna get paid next week. I'm gonna get paid in the next week. But the reality is that like, you know, you can get cut tomorrow. Yeah. You know, true. If they find somebody better, I just knew that every Tuesday at 4:00, if I lasted until 4:00 on Tuesday, because every week they have a group of guys training and working out, so they can sign somebody and they can cut you that day. So for those who don't know, every Tuesday, guys are coming into the NFL. Guys, I mean, even in the CFL, like, I don't know that I forgot the date for that, but they always have guys coming in trying out all the time, trying to replace you. You know, they find somebody that's better than you, and he's cheaper than you. You're gonna go with the. It's all about that cap, right?
100%.
So, but yeah, no, it's super important for sure.
Wow. I'm shocked about. I didn't know that. So it's not like when you're signed, you're good for the year or the season. You literally every week there's a chance you're out.
Potentially, yeah. Well, now there's obviously you got your Tom Brady's of the world, like you know those guys. They're signing long-term deals, but for guys that are, you know, whether you're a low draft pick or undrafted free agent like myself, you know, you could be cut at any moment. Like, you know, you do something wrong or you have a bad game, like they can replace you. They can put you on practice squad, so they can, you know, they'll always be able to find a replacement. Right. And yeah, that's every Tuesday at 4:00. I'd be nervous when my phone vibrates on a Tuesday, like looking at my phone. Crazy. But I mean, you know, obviously for myself, it didn't happen as much because I played on the same team for 2 years, and then Jacksonville, it ended up happening. I was with the Raiders for like 2 weeks, but I knew I was only there for 2 weeks, so I didn't even count the fact that I was there. But yeah, anyway.
It's okay. You're still there.
I was still there, but it was a 2-week vacation, to be honest. Like, my agent told me, he was like, hey, man, like, you know, you're only going there for his suspension. You'll be there. So I pretty much just went there and hung out with some friends that I knew, that I went to school with. They lived across the bridge. They played for the 49ers.
That's sick.
So, and I was in Oakland, so I just drove across the bridge, hung out with them for a little bit. And just did that, man. So, but yeah, anyway, so it's super important to put some money aside. But then again, like to your question, like there's so many guys spending a shit ton of money for no reason. For sure. You know?
Is there anything you did financially, if you look back at it now, you're like, I wish I didn't do that, that like you could give as advice to someone else?
Financially that I wish I didn't do, I would say, one thing that I would say I did, I was in Vegas.
We already know where the story is going.
Friend's birthday. And like, to be honest, we all kind of like went our separate ways. All right. And like, I just remember I was with 2 other guys. One was, he for the night, like he was like he worked as a bodyguard. So one of the guys, he was a promoter. The other guy was a bodyguard. Some of those guys left. They're like, yo, we're gonna take you to this party. Okay. Right? So I'm like, bet. I'm going to the party. Going to the party, and we get there, and like I just like I've had a lot of drinks, so I was like, you know, I was like, oh yeah, for sure, I'm definitely gonna go. So I end up going in there, and all I remember, like I remember like music and all this shit. And then like when I got up in the morning, I was like, damn, that was fun. Like, I had a good time. And I remember, like going and I was just like, yeah, we'll get that. Yeah, we'll get that.
Yeah, of course. That's the drunk confidence.
Yeah, I was like,
It's on me.
Let's get that. I'm already been having a few drinks. I'm like, yeah, let's get a table. Let's do this. Let's do that. I woke up in the morning. I was like, damn, it was that much. Don't even remember how much. Like I don't remember the exact amount, but it was me, 2 other guys, and like a bunch of other people that came in.
Right.
And I ended up just leaving because like I was tired. But then I was like, damn, like I didn't know that it was that much.
Yeah.
And I was like, but that was one time I was like, yeah, you know what? Like I'm never coming back to Vegas.
Yeah.
I actually been to Vegas maybe 3 times, but the 2 times that I've been, I'm like, every time I go to Vegas, I'm like, I'm never going back.
You're like, we're done.
Yeah, no, I'm done with Vegas. Nah,
a lot of people
you're
say
setting me
that.
up for failure.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I'm not going.
You just gotta know you're walking into a fire.
Yeah,
People are like, I go to Vegas, I don't gamble, I don't spend a lot. I'm like, are you sure you went to Vegas or did you go like somewhere else?
No, even the gambling. I was lucky on the gambling part though. I had but it was I'm like, damn, I could have kept that money that I won.
For sure.
But shoot, I was out there just having a time.
It's
so
okay,
whenever guys are like,
learn.
yo, we're going to Vegas, I'm like, damn. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
know if I want to go to that
Give
trip.
me a sec.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
That's sick. That's okay. You live and you learn, you know?
Yeah, but honestly, I mean, you definitely, you want to have those experiences, and without those experiences, you'll never learn. So.
For sure. Oh, that's sick.
Yeah.
Okay, so then going into it now, because you said you have clients, obviously, like over the border and here. So when dealing with people over the border, is that just like because you have all connections from being in the States, or did you do any like actual advertising or reaching out to people there in the States?
No, just the network of people that I have, and keeping those relationships. Relationships are super important. So for me, I played in a lot of I played in a lot of states, obviously going to different games and, in college or whatever. And you meet all these guys that go to your school, but they all live in Texas, New York, or Chicago. So you're just keeping those relationships. And then it's been a while since I've been back in Canada. So I've been living full time in Canada. So for me, I've been really working on, not only rebuilding relationships, but making new connections in Toronto and Canada as a whole. So, but just pretty much putting myself out there, but also, just reconnecting with friends from the past as well.
Yeah. And a big thing about that too, I say in any business is your network is such a big deal because it's it doesn't matter how you get that network, like Anthony and Ernesto, they did it through promoting or you did it through athletics. Everyone has their thing, but every person you meet can somehow mean something to you even more in the future. And you may not know, especially as athletes, when you're on a team and soccer is a smaller team, football, you guys are massive. So it's if you leave good impressions on the people you play with and they can already trust you just an athletic perspective.
Yeah.
Now you break into business to reach back out to them and remake those connections. They're like, oh, hey, yeah, I remember you. Were what's up? It's not oh, you told me off or you cussed me out at this game. I tell people all the time, you always want to keep good relationships.
Always.
Because you never know where that can lead you going into the future.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And it's funny because that's how I met Ernesto.
Yeah.
Keeping that same relationship.
That's sick.
We went to Chaminade together. He played soccer. I played football.
Yeah.
And, when I started my trucking business, I reached out to him with his branding agency. I said, hey, I need to put together a business deck and a logo. And that's when I met Anthony.
Yeah.
And I kept that relationship. And now, we're doing stuff together now, and look at us here.
Yeah,
just off of a relationship, and that's who connected us, Ernesto.
Yeah.
So I mean, had I, beefed with Ernesto in high school or something,
or not talk to him or whatever.
Not talk to him, you never know what could have happened, through that. But to your point, having or keeping those relationships, are super important because you just never know. I mean, there's so many people from high school that you meet. You never know. Like you said, I didn't know that Ernesto was gonna be he's doing today, and then now and be able to meet you. But I just understood being friendly and building relationships were important at a young age. I was always a guy that just liked being vibing out with people. If you got good energy, I'm there, right? So, but yeah, for sure.
Yeah, well, I totally agree with that. Do you think that there's any, what can you call it, traits you learned in playing athletics, whether it be discipline, patience, passion, whatever it is, that you now carry into your corporate side of life and your business finance side of life, but you really learned those when you played sport?
Yeah, I would say one is patience.
Yeah.
You know, and just knowing like to keep going. You know what I mean? Like I didn't know where my destination was gonna be when it came to football.
Right.
I was just a kid playing, and I'm like, I'm just gonna work my ass off, and whatever comes with that, you know, like I'll be happy as long as I know I put 100% into that, and I gave it my all. I can live with that.
Right.
So for me now, it's like I just know that if I attack every day, you know, they always say like be where your feet are.
Yeah.
You know, like if I attack every single day, 100%. I mean, I left it all out there.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to have any regrets. So I'm going to work my ass off, you know, when it comes to networking, when it comes to helping families, when it comes to, you know, just being a resource, because like my end goal is to be successful, and I don't put a dollar amount on it.
Yeah.
I don't, you know, I have a vision of how I would want to live.
Yeah.
And I just want to work towards that.
Yeah.
So I definitely, you know, I gotta definitely just be patient and continue just working hard. And I just know I put in a journal every day, like just keep going. It's gonna come. Whatever you want, it's coming.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I tell myself every day.
And what do you think about like believing in yourself? Because I feel like when you get to a certain level in athletics, like yes, you're playing on a team, but you have to have that belief in yourself that you can achieve that next level, or you can get drafted or be on whatever team. And I feel like that's something that's like really, really strong that you have to build, especially as an athlete, but then now into corporate life, because you're coming into a field where there's other brokers out there. There's like, you're competing with a lot of people, but it's believing that you can help someone to the max or the way that they need it.
100%. I mean, it's funny you say that, because like playing football, I've been playing football for so long.
Right.
So in my head, I'm like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna get that.
Yeah.
I want it. I'm gonna get it. Right. But then like that stuff is in the past now. Now, you know, you're getting into this transition and you're thinking about like, damn, can I do that? Like, yeah, I'm in this space now, but like, there's guys that's been in this space longer than I have.
It's true.
You know, so like you do have some sort of doubt where it's like, am I gonna be good?
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I didn't know that like what team I was gonna play on. I didn't know where football was gonna take me, but I just knew that as long as I worked hard, some outcome was gonna come out of it. So now for myself, I just have confidence in myself that I'm gonna work hard and learn as much as I can in whatever space I'm in, and with that comes the belief in yourself.
For sure.
You know, that's when I start really believing like, all right, I got it. I only got it because I know my work ethic.
Right, 100%.
You know, so that's how I look at everything.
Yeah, for sure. And work ethic's massive, right? Because if you don't
sure.
have work ethic, then it's twofold. You could believe in yourself, but if you're not going to put the work in to get to where you want to go, you're never going to get there, right? Like you can know you got to get there, but for example, you want to go shred in the gym, you know you got to go there.
Yeah.
But if you're on your couch all day, you're not going to get shredded, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely a big point. Do you believe that people that played athletics and played on sports teams can become more successful in like the corporate world working on teams? Like, you know, when you get into like banks and stuff and like you got to work with teams, like, do you believe that that's a thing or no?
I do believe that.
Yeah. All right.
But I sometimes always think like, I wonder if like people that weren't athletes like feel some type of way about that.
Yeah.
You know? Like, how do they feel about that?
Yeah,
question?
100%. Yeah.
But I do feel that way because like we're so used to being in a team environment.
Yeah.
Some people are not. Right. So now when you're put in that situation, you're kind of just like either you're with them or you're against them, and like that's kind of weird. But even obviously when you have a lot of athletes in one space, then there becomes an ego thing too,
for sure.
right?
For sure,
so
for sure.
It really goes hand in hand. But I do 100% believe that the athletes have the discipline, the athletes have the work ethic, and they know what it takes to win. And I think that's something that, you know, any corporation wants in somebody.
For sure.
So, you know, whenever I was always somebody that was like, I don't really want to talk like, oh, I played in the NFL. I did this, I did that. But, you know, that helps.
100%.
Hey, this is who I am. This is what I did. Like, I'm very confident in myself. I'm on time. I work my ass off. I do this, I do that.
Yeah.
People like that.
Yep.
Right? Maybe over somebody that has like a full resume and went to school for or whatever. Maybe this person went to school for finance, maybe, and they did all this other stuff. But like, some people actually just like the athlete because they know they're gonna come in every day on time, not complain, and do the work.
Yeah, and they're coachable.
And they're coachable.
And that's a massive thing. Like
Exactly.
I worked at the bank for 4 years before I do what I do now, and I remember I had no resume, and they were like, "You have to have all these prerequisites," and I'm like, I go to practice and I play games. Like that's my prerequisite. It's like 7 days a week.
Yeah.
So that's all I put on my resume. But I was the captain of my team, so I was kind of trying to play on that.
Yeah, of course.
So then I got in the interview and I was nervous as hell because I'm like, I'm not gonna get accepted. Like there's people out here that's like math geniuses and whatever.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget. Like the manager looked at me and she's like, the first thing she said, she's like, I don't want you coming in here. She was really nice. She's like, I don't want you coming in here thinking you're at a disadvantage because you don't have prerequisites. And then she's like, let me ask you something. Are you coachable? And I kind of giggled. I'm like, well, yeah, I'm coachable. And she's like, okay, that's like one of the first things on my list. And she's like, so you could come in here and have a full resume of all these work experiences you had. But if I can't coach you, then you may not be someone I want on my team. And she's like, you play athletics. So, and you got to a certain point. She's like, so I know I can coach you. I know you're adaptable. And then she's like, I know you're a leader because you were a captain. So like in that moment, I realized like, wow, I saw it as like something that held me back. But it was actually something that was valued because now they know, okay, we're in a team setting. We have to achieve this goal. I can look at everyone around me and be like, this is your strength. This is mine. That's your weakness. Let's compensate.
Exactly.
Whereas people that don't have that experience may not know that, right? They might just be in this team setting. How do I fit in? Or what can I contribute? Or I don't want to step on toes. Whereas when you're in a position your whole life having to work with other people to achieve an end result, your ego has to go away at some point. Or else, like you even hear like the greatest players in the world, doesn't matter the sport, they'll literally always give some sort of credit back to their team or their coach or their partner or whatever, right? Because like, I feel like in life, once you understand that you can't do things alone, like you can achieve more as a team than as an individual, you'll get that much further.
Yeah, I'm a huge advocate of like teaming up.
Yeah.
You know, when it comes to, because you don't know everything.
No. 100%.
So like whenever you want to open up a business or you want to get into a certain field, find a mentor that's been in the space so that you can learn from.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into the finance and not ask questions with somebody. I might have some questions for you after we end up talking about working at the bank.
Yeah.
Just because like I want to know from your point of view of how you looked at money.
Right.
Because that might help the next person that I talk to. So, I mean, that's super important to just be, you know, coachable and be and being able to, you know, team up with guys, team up with girls, team up with whoever, because you just, I always tell people I'd rather work together than work apart.
For sure.
Because I mean, two heads is better than one.
Yep.
You know, especially when it comes to just anything, not even just like some business deals. Like finding somebody that's like, hey, I don't have all the money, but hey, let's partner on that. That's how things start. A lot of people have started their careers on partnerships, and they've been very successful.
Yeah.
So.
No, 100%. And even just like, there's people that like I think can't get into partnerships just because they don't know how to split task. So it's like, well, if I own the company and you own the company, then who gets what? Instead of just seeing it as like, okay, wait, if we both own it and we both put in the effort, we can achieve 10x. You know, it's like when you start out in a business and you start by yourself and you have to start hiring employees because you get to a certain point, you have to start delegating. And it's like, if you come from a team background, you understand that that can only help you if you have the right people. I still look at like my team as like a soccer team. Do I have the right people in every position? And it's like, what are their strengths in that position? How can I play them? It's that same idea of going forward in life. People that always try to achieve it all by themselves. I'm not saying you can't, you definitely can, but at some point you're gonna have to bring people on to help you get there. So now in what you do, I know you said you're doing some stuff with like your friends and like investments and ventures, but on the finance side, is it by yourself right now or do you have a partner?
So I'm an independent broker, but we have like senior directors that can help along the way as well. So I mean, there's not necessarily partners, but they're mentors and teachers as well. Yeah, because they're seasoned, they've been in the game for much longer. So there's I ask questions all the time.
For sure.
I mean I know a decent amount, but I think I'm always gonna end up asking questions, just because there's always new product, there's always new different ideas on how people structure their accounts and what they want and what type of policies they want for their children and and a trust and a will. Like there's so many things. It's like, hey, I want a second or third eye on this,
right?
Just so that we have the best situation for the client.
Yeah.
So 100%, I'm always trying to get ideas or learn from whoever in the office.
Yeah. And I think even just with banking in general, what I used to tell people is like, you don't realize how many unique situations there is when it comes to people's finances.
Yeah.
So it allows you to take that skill of like being adaptable that you've kind of built up and now put it into the real world, because each client you face, you have to deal with them differently. How do they handle emotions? What do they want to hear? My tone of voice would literally change depending on who I was talking to. My energy, I can't be this energetic with certain people. They'll feel like, well, she's overpowering me, so I gotta calm down and talk like this. Like, so it's all these skills that you learn, but low key you kind of learn them when you play sport. Yeah, because you learn like how you can talk to a coach, how you have respect for your elders, showing up late, showing up on time. Like all these things matter in the end, right?
100%. And because you've been around so many people, you know the different type of personalities. So maybe somebody that you have, with what you're doing now reminds you of somebody that you played with.
For sure.
So it's like, okay, I know how to deal with that type of person.
Yeah.
Because like, there's the one crazy teammate, then there's 100%. The loud one, then there's the one that's quiet, and then there's the really smart one doesn't say much, then there's the really smart one that says a lot, maybe says too much, right? So you meet those people along the way outside of sports, so it's just like now you know how to deal with that. So it definitely preps you for life, for sure.
Yeah, 100%. I'm in total agreement with that.
Which one are you?
Hey, okay. Which one do you think I am?
I feel like you were one of the ones that you weren't I don't think you were a yeller. You would only yell. I think you would yell at the ones that were like, come on, what?
Like motivational.
Yeah, like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, but sure. That's how you come off. I don't seem like you're like an asshole.
No, I can't. I would feel so bad. Like, even when my coach would be like, you're the captain, it's your responsibility to go talk to this player and have this conversation, I'd be like, really? He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. So then I try to find like the nicest way to have that conversation. But if we're on the field and we're losing and I know we should not be losing, I will yell. Because it's like, exactly. Wake your ass up. Like, what are we doing, right?
Exactly.
But yeah, that was definitely my vibe. You nailed that one. Okay, so which one are you?
I'm the very laid back one.
Yeah, you seem chill.
I like to lead by example. So I want to show the work rather than telling you.
Yeah.
So that's how I was.
So you're like a silent killer.
Yeah, like I would say I was one of those guys. I mean, I always was learning from everybody, but I always like if I needed to say something, I would.
Yeah.
And I kind of sometimes I'd be the mediator. Like, hey, like I get what he's saying, but I also get what you're saying. So like, you guys are not wrong, but like this is how we can kind of work this together, right? But that's how kind of I was. I was more like laid back. I know there's been sometimes I got myself in trouble by just being too relaxed.
Yeah.
Like
and
sometimes
like, do you care?
Everybody's like, oh, and I was just like just ready to play. I'm like, yeah, I just want to play.
Yeah, I think that's interesting too with football, because like from what I see on TV, you see everyone walk in and whatever, and they're all like, I'm like, these guys look like they're gonna kill someone.
Yeah.
So like to know you had that more like just, all right, let's get it done.
Yeah,
this chill mentality.
I don't want to waste all the energy being loud. I'm gonna get tired if I start yelling too much. Now, if I score a touchdown, I'm gonna get hyped, whatever. But for the most part, I'm not gonna talk too much shit on the field unless I have to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do my job. I'm gonna work my ass up on the field. I'm gonna come out to the sideline, cheer everybody up, and do whatever we have to do. But I'm just like this.
Yeah, you're coasting.
Yeah, I'm just
get your shit done.
I'm just coasting. Make sure you do your job. I'm gonna do mine, and let's win this game.
Yeah. I like that. You need people like that though, because it balances the level.
It does balance, because you have a guy in the group that's like I'm gonna let him. That's what he's good at.
Yeah.
I'm not great at it. He's great at it.
Yeah.
And what I'm great at is just keeping everybody together and us like, hey, no, we're good. Let's just keep going.
Yeah. I like that too, because like people that do get riled up easy will always kind of look for that person that you are, where it's like, come to you to kind of calm me down, because I can't go to the other guy that's yelling or
like, now you guys are both mad.
Exactly. Now it's just doesn't work. But yeah, okay, I like that. I could see that.
Yeah.
All right, for you, what do you define as success or as successful?
I define success as just being happy.
All right.
I mean, no matter what you're doing, like I think success is being happy. Like if at the end of the day, like you don't live life to be pissed off or mad at everybody. You live life to, you know, have fun and smile every day. And, you know, every day is a blessing to be up because I always try and people complain. And sometimes I complain about little things. I always think about like, compared to who, compared to what,
Yeah.
right? So there's somebody that can't get up and go for a walk.
Yeah.
There's somebody that can't drive a car. There's somebody that can't hop on podcasts and kick it and hang out.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, for me, it's like that's success to me, as long as I'm able to pour out and help, you know, other people and put a smile on people's face, and I can smile every day and be happy, and I want to have, you know, a family. I want to have my wife and kids.
Sure.
So for me, that's how I picture success. Of course, you know, everybody wants great finances.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like I just want to make sure my family is good. I want to make sure I'm happy and I'm living a very nice, minimal life.
I like that.
I don't need to be too extravagant.
Yeah.
Just that. That's
yeah.
it.
Or like, would you tie that into like, you know, living comfortably? Like, you know, eventually you have a family, you have kids, the kids want something, you know, you can comfortably give it to them without being like, I don't know, you know, give me a sec.
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel that.
That's how I view success.
Yeah,
you know,
I'm the
just
same with
being
that.
able to live life. You can live as you please, do what you want.
Yeah.
And just, you know, put a smile on your face every day.
Yeah, for sure.
You know.
Okay, so then I'm gonna take you one deeper. Okay. What do you define as happiness? What makes you happy?
Relationships,
All right.
family.
Okay, yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
When people are right here.
Yeah.
That's what makes me happy. I don't like the bicker. I don't like the you know, the beef, the attitude, the negative energy. If everybody is on one accord, and we're just like this, I feel like we're unstoppable. We're cool. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, like I like to live like this.
The coasting.
Like, I just don't want. I hate like the loud and just relax.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
Yeah. 100%.
I should be a yoga instructor.
You should. I know. You're like, namaste. Like, just chill.
Yeah.
No, but I agree with that. Like, and you're always, like we were just talking about it, you're more powerful together than apart, right?
Yeah.
Did you grow up close with your family?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's where, like, the family.
Yeah. I grew up close to my family. I'm close to my brother, and I got a great relationship with my mom and dad.
I love that.
You know, it's just.
Are they the reason you went to Chaminade, or you made that choice?
No. Some teammates were just
No
like,
way.
yo, you need to leave, come to our school, whatever. So I went over there.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Yeah,
That's sick.
I want to play football.
Yeah.
You
You're
know?
like, whatever I got to do to get there.
Yeah, whatever I got to do. I got to go to school in the middle of nowhere in Connecticut. I'll do it. Okay.
Yeah.
I went to Iowa. Didn't know where Iowa was. Didn't know where that was on the map. Went there. I was like, this is dope. Let's go. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So, and after college, you don't have a choice to where you go. You just
wherever you get picked.
Yeah, wherever.
But
do
you always like in that moment? Do you kind of in your head have an idea of where you want to go, or do you go in open mind, or does it change per player? I don't know.
I guess it changes per player because some guys they don't want to be, you know, in certain cities.
Yeah.
There was only one request I did have was just like, just do not send me to Saskatchewan. They're a great football team.
Yeah.
But just for like my mental, I don't know if I can be there.
Yeah.
You know, I just like I go there. It's the airport, the hotel, the stadium. I don't even and they love, you know, football out there.
Yeah.
But I'm like, man, like I've been doing this in the middle of nowhere my whole life. I can't do it as an adult.
Yeah.
At 30 plus, no way.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, it's all everybody's different. They want to be somewhere warm. They want to be here. They want to be there. And most guys just don't have a choice.
Well, I was gonna say, I feel like even if you have those stipulations, like you don't really have a choice.
Because I mean, shoot, if Saskatchewan's paying you a shit ton of money,
you're going to Saskatchewan. Buckle up. Get used to the haze and the farmland.
Yeah, exactly.
For anyone that doesn't know what Saskatchewan is in Canada, it's literally like just a massive plot of land. Like it's one of our provinces, but there's not much there besides.
There's Saskatchewan Rough Rider football. That's what it is.
Damn.
That's
crazy.
Yeah.
See, I've never been. I've heard. I don't have intentions on going unless it's for a road trip and I'm going right through it.
Exactly.
But yeah. Anyways, okay. Last question I asked my guests to wrap up the podcast. What's one piece of advice you'd give your 16-year-old self?
My 16-year-old self?
Yeah.
That's a good one. I probably would say like, shit, work harder.
Yeah.
You know, like I did work hard, but I'm like, man, like if I worked a little harder at 16, like,
Yeah.
who knows?
For sure. Because
where I would
that's
be.
like literally beginning high school.
Yeah, it's like, you know, it's like, damn, like, yeah, I would say work harder, man.
Yeah.
Like, because I mean, the harder you work, the more success or the more results you have. I would say that. I mean, I definitely, you know, think like as a child you do have to have fun.
100%.
And I had a lot of fun.
100%.
You know, I had a lot of fun in college. I had a lot of fun, you know, my whole life. But you know, that 16-year-old self, it's like, man, if you did work a little harder, if you didn't go out to all them little teenage parties, like maybe you would, you know.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I mean, you those are all lessons.
Yeah.
So I mean, other than that, I would say like I don't necessarily have any regrets.
I like that.
You know, at 16, you know, I think at that time I was supposed to be there.
Yeah.
I was supposed to do what I was doing. I was supposed to learn from those experiences,
Yeah.
and that's what shaped me to the man I am today.
100%.
You
Yeah.
know?
Well, I love that. That's a good one. I like
Yeah,
that. Well,
yeah.
thank you for coming on.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I mean, this is good conversation is always good.
Yeah.
And obviously in the grid is definitely a good little spot to get some good conversations in. So I appreciate you having me.
Thank you. Thank you again. And I agree. Grid Studio is the place to be.
Yes.
Book it if you got to film anything, not just a pod, okay? But guys, once again, like, subscribe, share, do your thing, and I'll catch you on the next episode.
Peace.